Steve Cohen is a billionaire who's not afraid to act like a billionaire.
Yes,
because
unlike
sometimes I think in Detroit, well, I realize that the level of billionaires, I mean, Mike Krasilich is, basically worth Steve Cohen's couch money. Okay, I get that. But he's still a billionaire. Sometimes he doesn't quite act like a billionaire to my point of view. But definitely Steve Cohen is not afraid of being one, it sounds like what you're saying.
Yeah, and that's a really interesting point. I'm glad you brought that up. I live in New Jersey. I grew up outside of New York City, and so George Steinbrenner was the enemy during the 90s. This bully with all this money who was willing to buy championships, and people really looked down on that. And I was one of those guys. I mean, I was vehemently anti-Steinbrenner when I was younger. But looking at baseball now, when you see the amount of money that every team has, when you see the revenue sharing that makes bad teams bring in tens of millions of dollars a year and that money not make its way to the field, it's very frustrating as a fan to see that. And so there have been a lot of articles written about how Steve Cohen is the problem in baseball. But I think I've seen more articles saying that Steve Cohen is the answer in baseball, that if you're going to have a billionaire owner, this is what you want a billionaire owner to do. I mean, look, it didn't work out. But they also, don't forget, almost had a superstar third baseman join this team in Carlos Correa. He was willing to go so far over the luxury threshold in the name of winning. And I don't see how, as a fan, you can really get down on that.
Well, and there's no question that the world of baseball is better off with a competitive, functioning New York Mets in that market rather than the stumblebum Wilpon organization who was barely keeping things afloat. I mean, that was an embarrassment for the league, really.